Welcome to Build Information Systems Video Learning Center. This tutorial will provide how to enter and complete a payroll check run using payroll hours and adjustments and the print payroll check processes. In BIS, employee payroll check runs are entered en masse in the payroll hours and adjustments form and ultimately completed when the check run is posted in the print payroll checks process. Once posted, the payroll hours and adjustments form is cleared and ready for the next check run. There are several methods that may be used to enter the information into payroll hours and adjustments, including the time card import process, the cruise process, reoccurring payroll, as well as manually entering the information into the payroll hours and adjustments form. Note that each method may be used solely or in tandem with any of the other methods if necessary. This tutorial will focus on entering the information manually for learning purposes. Prior to utilizing payroll hours and adjustments, the workers' comp, all payroll adjustments, and all employee master records, along with all payroll-related settings in system-wide parameters, should be completed. Please refer to the related tutorials if needed. To access the payroll hours and adjustments form, select the Payroll Hours and Adjustments link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions and select Payroll Hours and Adjustments in the menu. First note that only the Employees tab is currently available. All other tabs are grayed out. Initiate the process on the Employees tab by first entering or selecting the first employee ID. The employee's name, Social Security number, tax withholding state, unemployment state information will auto-populate from the employee's master record. Next, enter the pay period date, which is the ending date for the payroll period. The pay year will auto-populate, and the remainder of the tabs will become available. Notice the Change Pay Year and Change Pay Period buttons in the lower right, which we will discuss later in the tutorial. Go to the Hours tab, or the Certified tab if entering certified payroll. If a certified tab does not appear on your form, then the Hours tab functions for both types of entries, which is an optional setting in system-wide parameters. Start by entering the first date and the respective amount of regular, overtime, and double time hours as applicable. Note that you may make a single-line entry for the entire pay period if it applies. Also be aware there is a special keystroke function which will distribute total hours placed in the regular hours field into the overtime and double time fields when using the tab keystroke rather than the enter keystroke. Use the enter keystroke to bypass this feature. Upon advancing, the withholding type, GL account, trade, workers' comp state, and workers' comp classification will auto-populate with their respective default settings. Any of these may be changed on the fly if needed. When entering job-related labor, the GL account is typically a job cost labor account, which opens the job cost form upon advancing to the ellipsis button on the end of the line. Enter or select the job number. If the Hours tab and Certified tab have been combined, the form will indicate in bold when a certified payroll job is selected. Enter the cost code, change order, etc. The other information on the form may be modified as needed. Clicking OK will advance to the next line where additional hours and job cost related details may be entered. Continue until all the hours for the pay period are entered. Now let us examine the Auto button option in the lower right for a moment. This can be a great time-saving feature. When starting on either the Hours or Certified tab, clicking the Auto button rather than entering a date will auto-populate the dates for the entire week based on the pay period date, along with the default settings for GL account, trade, workers' comp state, and workers' comp classification for each date. You may use the scroll arrow keys to move rapidly through the columns for entering the hours and other information, as well as viewing line item information which displays in the lower portion of the screen as you scroll through each line. You may use the delete line icon or Ctrl-J key command to remove unwanted lines and/or use the insert line icon or Ctrl-I if lines need to be added. For salary employees, both their salary and gross wages appear in the fields in the lower right and may be changed on the fly if necessary. The prorate option allows salary wages to be prorated to jobs either manually, what is initially entered, or per line, per hours worked, or per hours earned. If prorating, enter all the line information including the needed job information and select the prorate method desired. If you are prorating any employees to both certified and non-certified jobs simultaneously, it is imperative to first set the system-wide parameter setting to combine the hours and certified tabs to avoid overpaying employees. Note, per hours earned factors in any overtime and double time hours as additional hours accordingly. Example, regular hours equal 8 hours, regular hours earned equals 8 hours. Overtime hours equals 2 hours. Overtime hours earned equals 3 hours. Double time hours equals 1 hour. Double time hours earned equals 2 hours. The actual hours totals 11 hours, while the hours earned totals 13 hours. The additions, deductions, tax deferred, and local tax tabs auto-populate with the employee's respective settings from their master record when they are initially selected at the start of the process. This information may be changed on the fly if required. Once the employee's entire payroll information is entered, the earnings, deductions, and withholdings amounts may be reviewed on the Totals tab. Save the employee's payroll entry by either clicking the Save icon or using the Control-S key command. Clicking the New icon or using the Control-N key command will initiate a new payroll entry. Prior to printing and posting the payroll check run, the payroll entries may be accessed and modified at any time as necessary. As mentioned earlier, the Change Pay Year and Change Pay Period buttons in the lower right of the Employee tab are available if required. The Change Pay Period will allow you to change the pay period date for the entire payroll run as well as the Change Pay Year. The Change Pay Year generally only comes into play when the last payroll run of the fiscal year overlaps into the new year. When the entire payroll run has been entered, the information may be reviewed for accuracy by using the Prepayment List. To access the Prepayment List, select the Prepayment List link in the blue area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Reports, Payroll, and select Prepayment List in the menu. Set the desired report query parameters for the current payroll run. Note the options in the lower right for Preview, Print, Export, and Email. The Export option is especially useful since it creates an external report file that is accessible at any time. Print payroll checks. Select the Print Payroll Check link in the white area of the My Desktop Payroll module, or go to Transactions and Print Payroll Checks in the menu. When the Print Payroll Check form appears, the Account tab will display the default account settings as set in System-wide Parameters. Any of the accounts may be changed on the fly if needed. On the Print Checks tab, the pay period date and pay year at the top left will reflect the information as entered in Payroll Hours and Adjustments. The date to be printed on the payroll check defaults to the pay period date, which may be changed to a date after the pay period date. Options are available to select all employees or a range of employees using the beginning and ending employee number fields, or to tag specific non-concurrent employees if necessary. Also available are options to select and print separately different types of pay periods: weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, monthly, or all. All is the default. Also available are the options to select and print separately different employee types: hourly, salary, and all. Again, all is the default setting. The Output field will reflect the default form output setting as it is in Payroll Checks on the Forms tab in User Preferences, Forms and Printers. This may be changed on the fly if needed by selecting from the drop-down list. The number of the first check to be printed defaults to the next check number based on the last posted check run. This may be changed as well if required. If direct deposit is set up and you are doing a direct deposit payroll run, check the Create Direct Deposit File checkbox and select or enter the dates for the file created date, and date deposit is effective. For more information on payroll direct deposit, please refer to the Payroll PDF manual or the FAQ on the subject. In the lower right, click the Preview button to view the payroll check form and optionally scroll through the check run. The Alignment button provides a method for checking the form alignment when using a continuous printer to ensure that the checks will print correctly. To initiate the print process, click the Print button in the lower right of the form. A prompt will appear indicating how many checks, the total amount to be posted. The lower area of the prompt has an OK, Save, and Cancel button. Note: clicking Save will post the check run to the general ledger without printing the checks. Click OK to proceed with the print process. A second prompt appears indicating the type of form selected and advising you to make sure you have selected the appropriate printer for this form. If the form and printer selection are correct, click OK. If not, click Cancel. Clicking OK provides the print form for selecting a printer. If the default printer is not the desired printer, select the correct printer. Clicking the Print button now sends the print job to the printer, and the first prompt again appears with OK and Reprint in place of Save in the event that the check run did not print successfully. If the entire check run prints successfully, clicking OK provides a prompt indicating how many checks were saved successfully and posted to the general ledger. Click OK. If the Offer Check Run Report option is checked on the PR tab in System-Wide Parameters, a Do You Want a Check Run Report prompt appears, with Preview, Print, Export, or Cancel options for the check run report. If the check run does not print for some reason, like the printer was turned off or some other malfunction, you may need to first check the print queue for the printer to see if the print job is available or whether there is an issue that requires the print job to be deleted from the queue and the print process reinitiated. Selecting Reprint again sends the check run to the printer. However, if pre-printed checks were used and a check has jammed, clicking Cancel allows you to cancel out of the process without completing, at which time you will need to correct the print jam and determine a new number of the first check to be printed and change that number on the Print Payroll Check form. Clicking Cancel allows you to cancel out without completing the process and posting the checks to the GL. Once the check run posts, the payroll hours and adjustments and the payroll prepayment list is cleared, ready to initiate a new check run.